everyone, and again, good evening, good afternoon, good morning from wherever you are watching the hotspot. I am Webb. Thank you for being a part of this exciting live stream. It's another day, another time for us to enjoy talking the world of sport. And today, again, I do tell you to share this link around to everyone you do care about and let them know it's going to be another interesting conversation talking sport tonight. And the focus tonight will be on, among other things, still as we talk about the transfers, we'll be discussing one of the hottest topics in global transfers right now. That is Moisés Caicedo. And we'll be telling you a little bit about his situation and how things are going on for him. But let's get to dissect this conversation. You can keep coming on. Like I said, share on the link, subscribe if you haven't. Do subscribe to the channel, the hotspot there, and this is where we get to talk about all the hottest conversations in the world of football. And you can follow as well on Twitter. You can follow me at dsevachije at Web Daniel. That's on Facebook, Web Daniel Sabaja as well. That's where we are, and you can get to enjoy all the conversations in the world of sport. Now, tonight, the biggest discussion is going to be about, again, one young man. One you see right there, Moisés Caicedo, the man from Ecuador, who is wanted by several clubs. He should be the hottest cake if the speculations and transfer talk coming from the UK is anything to go by. The question is, if you were Moisés Caicedo with Arsenal, Chelsea, and Manchester United all interested in you, who would you choose? Which of those three teams would you choose? Go into the comment section and let me know what you think about that, what your honest opinion is. I will be giving you mine. We will be getting, of course, to talk about that. I will be giving you my opinion on where exactly I feel and for what reason he should be headed. But speaking of Arsenal, there is lots of news coming through the Gunners, and it's perhaps good and bad, I should say. For some of you, depending on where you fall, which team you do support, I think it might be good or bad for you. But for starters, the young man, that is William Saliba, apparently is wanted by Paris Saint-Germain. So that's a bit of a transfer talk coming through from Arsenal. His contract is approaching its final year. He's earning £40,000 per week. And he feels he deserves more than that. Arsenal, perhaps willing, because they do want. Mikel Arteta recently, intimated that he's clear in his plans. Is so important in his plans for Arsenal. But him at £40,000 per week and the season he had with the Gunners, certainly Saliba feels he deserves more. And Paris Saint-Germain is certainly a club we know is always willing to pay more for players. They do have the money, that oil money. So if Arsenal do not come through with something good, then it will be trouble for them when it comes to their star man in William Saliba. So that's the transfer talk coming through from the Gunners. But like I said, let's discuss the bigger one that has been going on for a long time. And let's talk Moisés Caicedo, who has been on the lips of Arsenal since January. If you remember, Arsenal did make a £70 million bid for Caicedo. That's the holding midfielder from Brighton. And this bid was immediately turned down by Brighton. They do feel they value their player at a lot more than that. In fact, according to reports coming through, he is valued at about £100 million, according to Brighton. But you wonder what guides their valuation of this young player. Because when you look around, some of the best players in the world and how much they are valued at, you do get the feeling that Caicedo perhaps is a bit overvalued. But I'll tell you why I feel so. We are going to talk about him and his abilities, but this is his current market value. I don't know whether that's clear, whether you can see that properly. Caicedo is valued at right there. What you see at 55 million euros. Now, this is his scientific valuation, if I would say. But his club does value him so highly. When you look at how he rates against some of the best players in the Premier League or even in the world, with his valuation at Brighton, he's certainly ranked number one, the most highly valued. Like I told you, what I showed you there, the 55 million euros is the scientific valuation of the youngster from Ecuador. But at his club, he's valued, first of all, a lot more than that, because apparently they feel he's worth, like I said, 100 million pounds plus. we'll debate whether he's worth that. But he's ranked number one, Brighton, in the Premier League. Among the so many players that play in the Premier League, he's ranked number 32 right now. That's how hot this youngster is, just 21 years of age. And then worldwide, right now, scientifically, according to the valuation of players, he's valued at about 74 million pounds. That's this young man. Now, think about if you think about that valuation of this player, and you think about what perhaps he adds to whichever team he plays for, like Brighton, where he is right now, you get a feeling that maybe there's justification to the overpricing of the player. Like I've shown you, the scientific valuation of Caicedo is about 55 million euros, but the club rejected 70 million from Arsenal. There are reports also, by the way, in January that even Chelsea had made a bid of about 500 of about 55 million pounds for him, which was again rejected. So that shows you how hot a player he is. He's a hot cake. Right now, if you talk about the hottest cakes in world football, certainly he's up there because, I mean, there is a general need for holding midfielders, defensive midfielders like him in all teams. You saw how Arsenal struggled with that department before they got Thomas Partey, who had, I think, his season for me has been up and down. It's been there. If I can rate him, I probably rate him at about 7 out of 10 for Arsenal in the past season. So the world needs holding midfielders. Of course, there was N'Golo Kante. Then, whatever happened, his career sort of took a downward because of injuries and all. Then Thomas Partey coming in at Arsenal. You saw how Casemiro changed Manchester United when he joined the team from Real Madrid. So the world, I think football has been in need of a top holding midfielders. And Caicedo, not to say that he's there, for me, he's not world class yet, but he's edging towards that. He has got that potential. That's why all these clubs have that interest in him. He's a versatile player. We've seen him play even right back for Brighton. So that's how versatile he is. He can contribute a bit going forward to goals. He's a good footballer, good on the ball, good in the attack, playing in pockets. He's a good player. Now, that's his valuation, and that's how the club is valuing him. But let's look at the question that we asked, that where do you think he should go? If it were you, which of the teams would you choose? With Chelsea, yes, you're a good player, you're valued at that amount of money, which all the teams can afford. If it is upon you now to choose, which team would you choose to join? That's the question. Again, subscribe to the channel, go in the comment section, and you do drop your comments. But for me, this is what I think. Now, Caicedo, good as a player he is and what he can contribute to whichever team he plays for, I feel it depends on what he wants as a player. I mean, if you're a young footballer coming through all the way from Ecuador, and you're playing for Brighton, he has only played in the Premier League since 2021 when he joined from a club in Ecuador. Now, you feel if you join the Premier League and he's played about 45 games playing for Brighton, and in this past season he only missed one. He played all but one game, which is brilliant. It means he's growing in terms of his experience in the Premier League. Now, if you're a young player like that at 21 with high potential, all these teams showing and panting over you, I think you'd want to sit back and think, okay, what do I want for myself? He's currently earning, reports say, £15,000 per week. Now, certainly, if you're coming from Ecuador, you would want the money because the Premier League is where the money is. So, certainly, you would want an increment on the £15,000 per week he's getting, which obviously any team that would be signing him would certainly have to bring. Now, all the three teams can certainly more than double his current wages. So, if it's money that he's looking for, I think it's obvious he would either go for Chelsea or probably Man United. I think if you go by, history, Arsenal, for a player who has been earning £15,000 per week, if Arsenal signed him, I believe the highest they would pay him is about 120 or 100,000 pounds per week. I think, and that's for me on the higher side, knowing how stingy Arsenal can be, but how economical they can be, if you want to call it that. So if they would sign him, let's say for 75 or 80 million pounds, because I personally don't feel he's worth 100 million pounds, but even now because the transfer market has been inflated, they can pay 70, cool 70 or even 75. But like I say, they rejected 75 before. But regardless how much they pay, Arsenal would probably reasonably pay him 100,000 120 or 80,000. That's how Arsenal. I believe that's how they would rate. They would rate him. Chelsea is one club that would match whatever amount they would want to buy him for. If they beat the financial fair play rule, of course, with the 600 million they spent last season, of course, they've got a lot of players they would sell off and off, and also they'll be able to buy a player or two. So if he's one they seriously want, you probably feel they can pay him about £150,000 per week in terms of salary, about 150, 160, 180. Same with Manchester United. So if it's money that he wants, for me, certainly Arsenal would not be an option. It would not be an option. But the thing about joining both of the two, and let's start with those two that would be, willing to give him money. If it's money that he wanted, Manchester United perhaps would join with a lot of pressure, because we are talking a Manchester United right now that has brought a bit of hope in the fans and, of course, the entire project. Even Ten Hag, when he's talking, as you listen to his interview the other night, he's clearly talking trophies and competing for titles. Now, clearly, we see that Man United is not up to building players and individuals right now. You either come and perform, or there might not be so much time for you, more so next season, to be built. So when you join a team like that, there is a lot of pressure. They're back in the Champions League. Every player has got to count. Every player must be contributing, playing minutes. Whereas they are Casemiro's and good midfielders that have been there at United. If you come in as a £80 million signing, you're certainly, there's a lot of expectations in you to contribute at that high level. Mind you, playing for Brighton and playing for Man United are whole different ball games. I mean, the levels are different, the demands are different, the pressure is different. The fans everywhere you go, they demand because they know what's going on. The world's eyes are on you. So for me, I think, is that something he would want? Yes. Whereas Man United could be able to give him the money, the 150,000 or so, would he want to grow through the pressure? Because I feel he's still growing. So would he want to be put out? It wouldn't be an option in that regard. Same with Chelsea. Chelsea, perhaps not that next season they're expected to compete for titles, but with the new coach coming in, Pochettino, and you are one of the first players, and the issue that has been there at Chelsea is they have been signing so many players that are surplus to needs, and they're actually cleaning the squad and trimming it. So whichever player they bring in now should matter. There should be value for money, because the issues we had before, we are having a big squad and wasting so much money on players. So if you come in right now with a new coach, there is a pressure on the coach to vindicate their signing. You also have the pressure to deliver. So delivering in this regard, I think is not even about helping the team win titles, but you as an individual, you've got to show that you're playing football. Even if Chelsea is not going to be winning titles, should be able to show that you are way above the rest. That's why they are able to pay close to 80 or 90 million pounds for you, even 100. So is that again a pressure that Caicedo would want? Coming from playing for a team like Brighton, you go straight land into that mix and pressure at Chelsea, a team that is, going into a rebuild. I don't think that's the kind of pressure he's ready for. Casemiro faced that kind of pressure at Man United, but Casemiro had won everything there is to win in club football. At Real Madrid, so many Champions League titles and La Liga titles. He was a world-class player, big player, mature in everything. So that's why he would carry the pressure and the expectation on his shoulders. Do you think Caicedo would do the same if he joined a team like Chelsea, regardless the money they are giving him? I feel like he would struggle to cope with that pressure. So for me, that leaves me with only one option, and that's for me. I think the wisest decision for Moisés Caicedo, looking at all factors constant, is to join a team that would not that would not come with a lot of expectations. That would give him time to build him into a world-class player. Like I said, I don't think he's yet a world-class player. So he needs a team that will not look at him as a player who is up there already and he's been brought in to deliver results, but a team that will build him for a season or two and turn him into a player that Real Madrid will be panting for, or Barcelona in a few seasons, because he has got that potential. And for me, that team should be Arsenal. That coach should be Mikel Arteta, because at Arsenal, the pressure is more on the coach and the team, the unit. It's not a group that dwells on an individual. Whichever signing that comes in, the pressure is not on them. And that helps them flourish. That's why the Zinis of this world have performed at Arsenal, because yes, they have come in, but there's not so much pressure and expectation on them. So they gel and fit into the team. So they play with the unit. And they have a manager, a trainer, a coach who is going to help them improve them. They have fans who would be patient. But And I think that is the kind of transition a young player like Caicedo would need. So for me, I think without a shadow of a doubt, the best option, if I were Moses Caicedo and all these teams are panting for me, they do want my signature, I would not look at the money. I would say, okay, I'm earning 15K. Arsenal can give me 80 or let me back in and hold out for 100 or 120, which I think that's the tops they would give him, pounds per week. It's good money from from the 15K I was earning. I'm in London, but I am only young. I'm only 21. This Arsenal team is a team that can turn me into a the best defensive midfielder in the world in 2 or 3 seasons. They can develop me into that player, and I can be sold off to a team like Real Madrid, like even Manchester United if they came wanting Manchester City for more and even double my wages. But I'll be more mature, I'll be more improved, and I think I would have a longer career. For me, that's for me. That's what I would think. That would be my verdict about this whole Moses Caicedo situation. So you can as well, of course, share with me your opinion. I did tweet on my Twitter. That's right there, Sebachije. That's my Twitter platform. I did make a tweet about the same topic, and I do want to sample some of the comments there. If you do not follow me, you might want to run there and follow me. That's at D Sebachije, capital D, capital S, and Sebachije, the spelling is right there on the blue scroll down on your screen. So you can go on and follow me there and go on and comment. Now, there's a gentleman called Apostle Agre Waguma who said he feels he should either go to Chelsea or Manchester United. I spoke about what that would mean. I think it would be mostly for the money, but I feel I gave you my disquiets with that. Then Solo Najib says Arsenal may develop me, but not trophies. I choose Man United. Is it? Is I think I would. I would. Why I would disagree is if you're a 21-year-old player from Ecuador, played one season, one full season, in the English Premier League, is your pressure to win trophies at that time? I don't think so. Your pressure is to grow and become better, and then mature and earning more money while you become better and grow into a player. Because a midfielder's prime mostly is about 24, 25, 26. That's when a midfielder is in their prime. So for me, I think Caicedo's hunger now should not be for trophies. Harry Kane should be worrying about trophies right now because he's 30, he's been there, he's won golden boots for fun, he's been at that level for a long time. He should be worried about winning titles. Moses Caicedo shouldn't be thinking about winning titles. He should be thinking about growing better as a player. Mulokole Guy says Arsenal is a sure starter at Arsenal. Okay. Then Kasim Abdur Senior says Chelsea FC. Okay. Edris does say Man United. Casemiro isn't going to play all matches. He says he's playing the UEFA Champions League, and no other club gives high wages like United in England. So you see, this one looks at it from the money perspective. If he wants the money, well, United will give you the money. Who would you choose? That's the question. Slide into the comment section and let me know. If you were in Moses Caicedo's situation, 3 teams wanting you, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Man United, which one would you choose and why? Or maybe even you might want to tell us which team you think needs him the most of all those. Again, slide into the comment section and let me know what you do think about that. That's the situation right there with Moses Caicedo. Moving on with the comments, this gentleman called Bessie Ronald is saying that for him, he feels that that young man needs rather real good guidance, not to fall a trap of what happened to Mikhail Modric. Well, interesting there, that trap from Mikhail Modric, that, he was wanted by Arsenal and then he ended up choosing Chelsea, and we know what happened after that. Up to now, he's struggling to establish himself in the blue half of London. Ronnie92 says he should go for United. Then I Love Uganda says the Gunners. Ekon N. Jana says, what is Chelsea also doing there? Rwangachao says Man United. Basse David says Arsenal. Collins Morris says Arsenal. That's according to Collins Morris. So, yeah, everyone has an opinion, and I do want to get yours as well. That's why I do call upon you to go on and slide into the comment section, and let's see what you think about that. You can as well share on this video so that, of course, people keep enjoying it. You can as well subscribe if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel and let us keep talking about this world of transfers. Thank you so much for being a part of the conversation. Of course, there is more news coming through. The transfer window is still young, and there's a lot of football talk going on. We'll be here every day with the breaking news, with the analysis, and everything you need to know about the English Premier League and the world transfers, the global transfers going on. For today, that was it. See you again tomorrow. Have a good night, good morning, and